This is going to be your guide to getting rare items in Pokemon Legends ZA. So here's all of your competitive items in racing construction. How much do they cost? 5k each. So there you go. You do some ZA Royale, you run around, you sell all of your valuable items, and then you can buy whatever items you want. And then over here we have the type boosting items. It's going to be the same thing, so really nice to just grab those whenever you want to add them to your team. Life Orb, Focus Sash, Assault Vest, all that cool stuff. Next up, we have Nature Mints. So initially, these might seem hard to come by. You might get one as a side mission. If you look up on Cerebi, you see some really crazy stuff. What do you mean? 0.1% chance of like the sparkling ground item. Also, 2% chance for an Eevee Berry? How am I supposed to play the game? Well, fortunately, there are shops for mints inside of Legends ZA, and it's these. So if you see the flower store, you can actually just buy mints here. Each one is going to be based off of a typing, so you don't get them all in one place. You have to go around and find the different ones. So we have the speed mints over here of the Wild Zone 20. Then we have a nice little market over here, which is also going to have a lot of mints. So here is where you get the attack, defense, special attack, and special defense mints. So you get pretty much all of them in this one spot, except for the speed ones. Also, these are berry stalls, and you can just buy berries. So if you want the super effective reducing berries, you can find that in this area. But what about the Eevee reducing berries? Well, that's actually back here right by the speed mint shop. After Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I am so happy I can buy stat berries. Oh, it's only one at a time? And I have to reset the menu every time? Somehow, like, still better than Scarlet and Violet, but come on. Where's the bulk buy? Where's the quality of life? Press X, press Y, press, I don't know, start. Am I missing something? But yeah, at least you get the EV reducing berries there, which is really nice if you've had like your team through the story, or you're just out battling and catching tons of wild Pokemon and they have garbage EVs all over the place. Ugh, look at my Feraligatr, he's all special attack. Also, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you need any Megastone, I'm talking any Megastone, you head on over to the Stone Emporium. You can buy Dusk Stones, Shiny Stones, Ice Stones, all like the rare special stones. Just insta automatic, get your Aegislash. If you want to get the power items, just head on over to Quasartico and exchange some Mega Shards. So the power items are going to be 180 each. And this is where things get interesting on EV training, because if you find a spot that has like only Pokemon that raise a single stat, that's going to be like super crazy for EV training and EV farming, and it could be faster and more efficient than vitamins, because money is a little tricky to come by in this game. There's no amulet coins, so you have to max out the gold canary plush to get 50% more money from the medals in the ZA Royale. So that's not that great. And with the experience candies, because getting levels and experience is also kind of tricky, you can spend the mega shards on large candies here. So like 10,000 experience if you need it is pretty good. But once you get like Pokemon to level 100, you only need them for level 50 to train them. And that brings us to the next item we need to get. Hyper training with bottle caps. How terrible is that? Oh, it's absolutely miserable in Pokemon Legends ZA, because the only way to get them is 7% chance you get 3 bottle caps. So a lot of the things this game kind of tie together, but it's still like lacking that quality of life in a lot of places. So 7% chance after you do 20 battles in the Infinite ZA Royale in your Infinite Challenger match that you get 3 bottle caps. If you catch an Alpha Pokemon, they have 3 guaranteed IVs, so you can use this to kind of like max out the IVs of an Alpha Pokemon, then train it however you need to. But also a 3% chance on gold bottle caps, like 1 in 10 chance you get a competitive Pokemon after 20 battles for the ZA Royale rank up. And then we can also see some of the other items. 5 hit point up protein iron. These are only 5k in the game now, and you buy those at Pokemon centers. So 25k as a reward, or 20k as a reward with the big nugget. These items you can get as mission rewards for like their respective Pokemon missions. Then you got the balls, and if you want to train your Pokemon more efficiently, as you can see, the game does not respect your time, and this is the gameplay loop that they want to keep you in, where, oh, they expect you to do like 2,000 battles, so you have a streak in the ZA Royale to get 10 large candies at the end of it. So 100k bonus experience after all that time and work. Also, everyone gets hype over Master Balls. Research level 49. If you've paid any attention in the game, you get it that way. Or a 1% chance in the ZA Royale. By that point, you've already caught... Actually, I was about to say, by that point, you've caught everything. It doesn't matter. But maybe you just have it for, like, the most clutch, fleeing, shiny Dratini that you didn't save before. Now, there is one nice thing about the ZA Royale, and those are the delivery trainers, because after you beat them, they'll give you random items, and getting 3 HP up like that's really nice, and you have a good chance, decent enough, like you're going to see some rare candies, to get 3 rare candies out of it. So whenever you see those trainers, you want to battle them at the very least, depending on like how hard you're going to be farming the ZA Royale, and then you can get a nice reward. Even then, the max potions, max revives, you're definitely going to be using those if you're just out and about, catching Pokemon, fighting alphas, and stuff like that. But so far, that seems to be how competitive works. You can just kind of buy or get the vitamins as rewards. And if you're doing like so many ZA Royale battles, even though it's not a lot of money, it adds up over time. So that's probably going to be a solid way of EV training, like depending on how deep you get into that. So it might be better than the power items, but the power items on like big farming could be it. I'm going to do an EV training guide showing all those locations, so I haven't like fully figured out what's the most optimal. Seed of Mastery is very easy to get. You defeat alpha Pokemon, you get them, and then you can make plus moves out of like TMs and other moves and stuff. So you're going to need these for competitive, but you just naturally obtain them, especially if you're farming Wild Zone 20. And that's something I mentioned in my other guides. You want to catch all of the Pokemon in an area, so that way you can just have alpha Pokemon spawn whenever. But in this case, you can just kind of farm Route 20 alpha Pokemon as well. That's actually kind of threatening. Alpha Failing's doing its no retreat. So you take it down. Probably good to catch it again because of the IVs and the farming through that method. And then you get the rewards. And sometimes you get a large candy. That's the first time I've gotten 2 large candy. That seems to be like really rare on the alpha rewards. And you don't really get too much else from it that matters, unfortunately. It's not like the Dynamax raids or Terra raid rewards. Just, you slap an alpha around, you get maybe something decent, or you get 2 small candies and a medium and just feel terrible. And then there's good one-time spawns scattered about throughout the city, so if you see a red Pokeball item on the ground, it's worth checking out because it might be a calcium, it might be some vitamins, maybe a rare candy. You can also get like a bottle cap and rare candy inside of Wild Zone 20, but it doesn't seem like they respawn, which is also a really disappointing thing to me because in Pokemon Let's Go, you can get your daily max revive. You can get daily respawning items. Also, in Cerulean Cave, the items just respawn every couple minutes, so you can use that for money farming or maybe even just pick up a Master Ball off the ground. And you can also get a silver bottle cap every day in Pokemon Let's Go off the trainer rematches, and there's also the items that respawn in the game corner that can give you a gold bottle cap. So you might just like accumulate really good hyper training material in Pokemon Let's Go. That doesn't seem to be the case with this game. That I spent all night running back and forth for benches, so like 10 hours IRL game time doesn't respawn, and then waiting 24 hours outside of game just on the Switch clock doesn't respawn any of the items. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but there was a lot of good stuff around this place. But you pretty much need to get all the Canary Plush, so do the parkour, pick up the items, maybe there's some good items that make you feel a little better about yourself, and then the rest of it is just training and prepping for the ZA Royale, but you can also use those items to make things more efficient. And then checking on Cerebi, the only time you get extra large candies is with the Gengar side mission, so something really late, as well as the Pokedex completion reward. It's like maybe that kind of matters to help you get your level 100 Pokemon, or just like quickly getting 50 to slap a competitive team together. Yeah, maybe it gets better, but I think that's everything, just kind of like going over the items and what you need. The most important things, you can buy EV reducing berries, and you can also buy the mints, and then you can get your base items to slap onto your Pokemon, even though everyone's just going to run like a team of 6 megas. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.